Okay, so today's session on Beyond Meditation, we are going to start anchoring these transmissions that come forth about 2021. So we will end every transmission with our human vibe attunement so that the transmission as 2021 is intended can actually be anchored and be available to access for all humans as their own vibrational frequency rises. So a quick recap of what we've already done. It is a year where the focus is on flowing in flow. That is the vibrational energy of this year, flowing in flow. The current is a flowing current, and in a flowing current, just like a river, it's so much easier to flow with it. The year is going to have a series of times when there will be a slipstream, where the current will be so fast and will be directed to get us to a magical spot. And I call it a surprising magical spot. And it's a surprising magical spot because, especially if you haven't already done it, do the 108 Pearl that we just did on Friday for us, Thursday for the Pacific time, which is all about the surprise that lies in surprises. So before we get to a slipstream, just be prepared with your 7 steps to reap the rewards in a surprise. We also did certain meditations to connect to what it feels like when we are in our flow. We also did a journey where we experience the flowing current. So today the focus is on the F of flow, if you like. So we are now getting into the characteristics as designed by the divine for this time on the planet, where we have an opportunity to step into our flow and be flowing and moving forward. The first piece that is wanting to come through about the 2021 energies is forward. It is. You heard me say this before, and I'm reiterating it. This is a year where designed for us to move forward. You can look back, but it isn't about delving in what you are seeing, from your past. You can look back, with curiosity. You can look back with, oh, thank God it's over, or something, or look back at thank you with gratitude that I have gained this from my past experience. But if you look back and you're looking back with the intention of bringing some of that forward, you won't be able to. It will actually take you away from flow. So allowing yourself to continue to move forward whilst you're looking back with the intention of getting any benefit from that hindsight, that's fine. You can be in a river, you can be flowing with the river, and you can, mentally comprehend benefit of hindsight. Totally fine. That's fine. What will interfere would be if you actually engage with what has gone on in the past. So watch words such as, if you say to another, you always do this. Well, I can't really, trust you because, or I can't trust myself because of something in the past. We already know that one of the commandments is take nothing for granted. So take nothing for granted even within yourself. So forward is a word of the year. Now, if you are to look forward, some of you have, experienced me asking you, If anything was possible and there were no barriers, what would be going on in your life in 12 months' time? What would have changed? What would be occurring in 24 months' time? Play these games for yourself. It allows you to start anchoring a vision for you looking forward. And after a while of doing this, initially your mind will want to construct that, looking forward piece. But really what will occur after a while is, because the current in 2021 is such that, there isn't that much space for your mind to sit and work things out. Your mind will actually start relaxing into it. And you'll start actually envisioning that which you had always entailed had you made it to this point in 2021, and we all have. The next F that is being highlighted today is forward. So just like in a book, there's a foreword written by someone. Well, you write your foreword. If you were writing a foreword for a story of that which will play out in the next phase of your life, what would that entail? What would that contain? And that forward is going to be more than enough acknowledgement of whatever it is that you're bringing from the past and taking forward. So actually take some time to do that. The other F that is being highlighted today, we're going to anchor all of these in the human vibe attunement so that we have the amplifying energies applied to all of these. It's about, the phrase that Spirit is using is Fantasia. That is an envisioning of the fantastic. So what if this flowing year, you gave yourself permission to flow with it and utilize the slipstreams in such a way that your experience was a fantastic one? Now, this is where the invitation is for your mind to come in and join with you, really engaging in describing what that would look like. This is a descriptive imagery from your mind about what would your experience be if it was a fantastic one where you're flowing and moving forward. What would have moved forward? What would you have broken through that you had not been able to do up to now? Now, as you work with the Fantasia aspect, what I'm guided to ask you to also bring in is, just proactively use your dream times. So before you go to bed, you've already described what this fantastic experience would be. Before you go to bed, you invite yourself to dream this world and this experience into being. So we utilize every state of aliveness. So even when we are asleep, there is a part of us that is very alive. Life is present. Where life is present, aliveness is a possibility. Life is basically an organism that's breathing. So when we sleep, we are breathing, we have life. So aliveness is a possibility. Bring that aliveness into your dreams. I'm having some fun with this. So it's going to be really quite exquisite. Not all dreams are necessarily um, fun. However, just this knowingness that I can be resting and experience aliveness even when I'm asleep, I'm really enjoying that experience. It's giving me a sense of the richness and fullness of our time on this planet. Like, really, it's getting me to appreciate the moments in between the breath, the moments as we breathe in and breathe out. And I know that the moment I engage with a moment is a moment of miracle. And plug into what's making my heart sing. Now it's become so natural and normal to me that I just plug into that space. And that inner knowingness puts me in that miracle vibe. It's a great place to be as I'm flowing forward. And if I can do it, anybody can. Don't complicate it. Do it in whatever you understand from what I'm saying. The main thing is just take a step. And then there is fun, of course. Now, fun also includes funny. So there is, when we talk about fun, it's about having fun. When you talk about funny, you see the humor in things. So, when I get these sort of words and I get to, understand that I'm supposed to experience it more fully, I always use my way of managing time. I create a time segment. So I have a fun, funny time segment. 5 minutes is fine. It is just totally, utterly hilarious to be in that space. So the fun part is I chose for it to be like my B word. I said, I'm going to be fun. And, if you've read the B book, I define what the meaning of that B word is. How do I know that I'm being that way? I know I'm being fun when I am laughing a lot and feeling happy for no reason. So I've had a few be fun days. And it's really, it's quite funny. Life is quite funny. There's always something funny, not just something that can make your heart sing. There's often something funny that you can discover if you only choose to look. Gaurav was visiting Dubai, and I had two of my Be Fun days when he was here, and we were just talking, my sister and I and Gaurav, we were just talking about our lives in the past and some of the stresses that we've had. And we just couldn't stop laughing about some of the situations. And Gaurav was saying, this is so distressful. It's making me so angry. Why are you laughing about it? But we were just seeing, the incident has come and gone, it's happened. Yes, it was traumatic when it did happen. But actually, now when you look at the fun, the funny side of it, you can always find something to laugh about. We were laughing mostly at our own reactions to those situations. And I think what it did was it provided a new level of healing from those incidents, which were actually quite deep and quite, violent and violating. Um, didn't at all seem that way when we were talking about it and laughing about it. It absolutely, just a pure mind level understanding of that incident felt, quite anger provoking, which is how Gaurav reacted to it. He relaxed when he realized how my sister and I were addressing it. And we were not working hard at it. I was in my be fun space. Now, here's the thing that this fun section of flow enables. You've heard me say this. So those of you who've participated in these sessions, that unconditional acceptance of what is creates an opening for us to move forward. So when you go into that space where you allow yourself to be fun, it makes it easier to have that unconditional acceptance of what is. Not by ignoring or not by shutting off what has occurred, but by fully actually acknowledging the nuances of what occurred. So, go ahead and, utilize the be fun, and you give your own definition to what fun would be. And then observe yourself being that way. I've had a very busy time here in Dubai, work-wise, as well as just I've taken on my physical well-being in an even, turn the volume up on that even more. So all of literally, I've decided it's going to be not firing on all cylinders. It's going to be thriving on all cylinders. And somehow everything's come together in quite a seamless way, implementing these different F's of the flow year. There will be various, just like when a river is flowing, it goes through all sorts of terrains. Sometimes it's uphill, sometimes it's downhill, sometimes there's an island, all sorts of things are there. The vistas keep changing. And there you are flowing with the flow of this river that is moving forward. So there will be times where, certain things will occur which will seem shocking, which might appear challenging. The interesting thing with something that is flowing forward is it'll pass faster than it has done in the years that have gone by. So what I'm noticing is that it's easier for something to pass and you come out of it fully by you allowing yourself to notice it fully. So, I'm very closely watching, what is emerging out of people, that there's like a rush to get vaccinated. And there are certainly two types of vaccines that are being administered here, the Chinese one and the Pfizer one. So I'm very closely watching at least those people that are close to us, what reactions and responses they're having. And 3 out of 5 members of one family who'd taken the Chinese vaccine, all 3 of them got corona. And they got a very severe reaction to it, like nearly 7 days of the temperature just not coming down for one of the members. And great sense of discomfort, all that was there. So very easy to go in and say, oh, there we go. We told you so. This stuff, we just don't know what reaction it will have. But when I notice, I really see at a nuance level, what occurred. And yes, they became blacks, thinking that they've taken the vaccine, and we had more than 1.8 million people arrive in this city of Dubai for Christmas, New Year. That did increase the number of infections that were happening. And people who had taken the vaccines were told that, for the next 21 days, as the antibodies start to build, you really need to stay in isolation. Of course, they didn't. And the interesting thing is the oldest member of their family did not get it. So they really take nothing for granted. I've also understood that there is, I've stopped getting into whether I condone something, whether I reject it. It's like, okay, it is what it is. We are going to flow. But there's so many things that are happening where, my logical mind would get opinionated about it. Some things are violating some of my core beliefs. And, well, I can be very attached to the fact that a core belief of mine has been challenged or violated. Well, that just takes me out of flow. Doesn't mean I compromise on it. My focus this year, this is the thing to get. The focus this year is you. Your world will shape up around you. And we want the world to rise to meet us at our vibrations. We know, at least those of us who are here regularly, we know what it takes to be in the vibration of being human, which is the vibration of love, which is an amplifying frequency. For a frequency to amplify in a frictionless way, flowing in flow, which is the opportunity we have to expand this massively across the planet this year, basically requires for conflicts to go away. So there are things that are occurring, which I know for me as well, they create a little bit of an inner conflict. I do not ignore it. I do not ignore it. I notice and acknowledge that a conflict has landed. This is also a year we already opened up our recognition of our own worthiness, which is we reconnected to our dignity in 2020. This is the year for us to honor it, honor our own worthiness. So by acknowledging that a conflict has occurred, I am in conflict. I'm honoring my own worthiness. I'm not being stupid to step away from flow. No, by honoring it, I remain flowing and moving forward. There will be certain things just by acknowledging current is a flowing one, you'll keep moving forward. You get charged up about something, feel very strongly about something, and you acknowledge it and you flow and you move forward. The charge goes away quite easily by itself. So that's a good part of this flowing current. But if you take your attention away from you, even momentarily, for any length of time, you will get so disheveled internally and you'll feel it. But the good news is, as long as you don't let it go too out of hand, you can come back and regroup. The other F part of this year, the flowing year, the phrase that is being used is finale. It's like a grand finale. It's a finale of the formation of us in our flow, the presence of us in our flow, the exuberance of us in our flow, the emergence of us in our flow. Because 2022 energies are quite different. We literally build on this and move forward. This is still 2021 is still a formative one. So if any of you have ever done any form of dyeing or batik or something like that, like even I've done batik painting, learned it as a kid. We were trained to be very good housewives as little girls. So we were taught painting, embroidery, knitting, excellent academics, dancing, singing, all that stuff. So we did batik painting as one of those things. Now, what would happen there is you use wax as a way of creating those patterns. And then what you did was you would dye the fabric, and to ensure that the dye was very solid and did not leave color, you would then boil it in boiling water. So that would just literally make sure that the dye is so solid, the fabric won't shrink, and the color won't mess about after the whole painting was done. And we did it for fabric, we did it for paintings, all sorts of stuff. So this year is a little bit like that, where we are literally like, the boiling equivalent, so we find our flow. The sooner you find your flow, the more you work with it, the greater practice you have of working with the flowing current, the more solidly anchored you become in that. Now it is a little bit like the colors are not going to run anymore. The being of you is not going to shrink or shrivel anymore or disintegrate. It creates a solidity. It's a really powerful and an important one for us to find and really utilize ourselves fully in our flow. You will find various changes that will occur in your physiological being. Because over time, depending on whatever has occurred, you might have compensated for it. Your internal organs may have compensated for it, based on your lifestyle. Your physical body may have compensated for certain things. So you may find as your body starts to recalibrate, you may experience some physical pains and aches, pains, and discomfort. Just notice it. Reach out to me if it is out of hand. I'll be able to share what it is that is causing that. But make sure that you don't need to be a martyr. Treat it. You don't need to be uncomfortable. Remember, stay in flow. Anything that takes you out of your comfort zone, including physical discomfort, should be treated. Even if it means, taking medication that provides just some instant relief, that's fine. Human vibe attunement is a very powerful way of ensuring that your body only receives the benefits, and anything that does not serve you from any medication you take is taken out of your system with ease and grace. We have done beyond meditations focusing on all of these different organs. In case any of you have to go on any prolonged medication, just go ahead and do those. It's stored as a separate playlist. So this is the year where you own up to you are the one that you have been waiting for, and you are the one that the world has been waiting for. We each have our own unique contribution. Having said all of that, let's just anchor all of this in an amplifying vibrational frequency of love. And please implement I know that so many of you send me private messages of your experience. And that's wonderful, but do share it in the group also, or give me permission to share your messages with the group, because we support each other. These are unprecedented times. So get yourself comfortable. We're going to begin straight away. Your feet are on the floor. Middle of your feet are connected to the core of the earth. Drop your hands on either side. Your palms are facing forward. Fingers lightly stretched. Tips of your fingers are connected to the core of the earth. The base of your spine is connected to the core of the earth with the alloy of precious metal gold, copper, silver, and bronze. Just by noticing those connections, the clearing has begun. I want you to start practicing this breath, where you take your breath, take it up to your, in between your forehead, above your crown, back of your head, down your spine, and then breathe out, coming out from your tailbone into the core of the earth. Just a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Let's do the 9-4-6 breath. So we have our mind, our heart, and our gut in complete alignment and attunement. And then we will go straight into the human vibe. Attunement. Breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I anchor the human within humanity. 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 Let's breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take your hands in front of your throat, rub them against each other, put them over your eyes, open your eyes, and then take them on top of your head, down the back of your neck, down your shoulders. Do an energy sweep. Our session is complete, and I always love to anchor your closing words. So please share. If you need to be somewhere, please go ahead and take your own action towards that. Refreshed, divine flow. I anchor the human within humanity. Beautiful. I have done batik for many years. I know it's quite a beautiful experience. Love and grace and much gratitude. Thank you so much. It is a great start of my day. Yes, it is. Keeping with it. Fabulous. Fantastic. Rejuvenated. Flowing in. Loving. Let the flow lead the way. Enjoy. Yes. Vibration of love. Flowing in gratitude. Thank you so much. Wonderful flow. What an inspiration to flow in the flow. Beautiful and wonderful. Wow, that's really great. Thank you. Lots of love. Lots of love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's always difficult for me to end these meetings. Felt great. Drowned in a B word flow with the word, with my flow. Be in peace, everyone, not going backwards whilst flowing forward in my flow. Gratitude and love, Mynoo and all. Thank you, Mary. Anchored and deeply at peace. Thank you. Much love for the teaching on 2021. So centered. I can feel the slipstream surrounding me. Yes, Cheryl, thank you so much. Mary Catherine. Receiving it, flow and gratitude. Blessed to be here. Yes, it is a blessing indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With that, I'm going to complete the meeting.